Okay, actually, like it. What's going on, everybody? My name is Keenan. Is my name. It's my first time doing a podcast and everything, but I hope you guys enjoy it. I got a few things that I like to talk about, giving my testimony about myself, as well as topics and everything that I feel that need to be discussed, as well as you'll learn if you're being a viewer, the things that why I'm walking in my purpose, as well as the things that why I did make a podcast. In fact. So, one of the things that I will say is the reason why I created this podcast is solely because of the purpose that I want to live in. Is eventually I want to be able to hopefully become either a city council member or mayor somewhere in the political field that will be able to give my views and make a difference in my community as well as make a difference hopefully within our nation. It's a lot of topics that I'm gonna go over throughout this time with with y'all. So I will say just thank you for tuning in. Um, thank you for uh, thank you God as well for giving me this opportunity to be able to do this. It's funny in my opinion. I was procrastinating this. I've had this stuff. I've had all this for about a month or so, and I have not sat here and uh, I have not sat here and did this today. Just something moved me today. Um, I first talk about basically in a sense where I had this feelings this morning. I mean, 5 o'clock in the morning. I went out last night and 5 o'clock in the morning, and I just couldn't shake it, man. I woke up. I was like about to throw up. First, the crazy part is I started to pee. I was about to pee in the bed. I don't know what was going on, but I jumped up out of bed and went to the bathroom, went back to sleep, woke up and was wanting to throw up. Eventually, I did throw up, and it actually dawned on me what exactly is going on. You know, um, I'll basically put it down for you in this case. I'll share my screen for y'all real quick. So, Proverbs 26, verse 11 says, as a dog returns to his vomit, so a fool repeats his folly appears. So, in this case, what I took at this is one moment. The proverb is a reminder that when we realize we've done something foolish, we should ask God to help us remember the cost of our foolishness. We should ask God to help us learn and grow in wisdom so that we don't keep going back to sin and foolishness. The proverb reminds us of the cost of the sin. We should constantly remember how foolish something might be and ask God to help us. What I will say is, I believe God was really showing me something that happened to me. I want to say Friday night. The mother of my child, she came and picked up our daughter, and I will say it is what it is. But she picked her up pretty late, and it's okay. I will say, me and her have our differences on what things should be, but it is okay. I'm glad that she is able to be there. But I will say that something very odd happened, and I was actually at work. She came and got our child, and next thing you know, I opened the door. I let my daughter, allowed her to go with her mother, and I get a call. I said, "Well, why is she calling me?" She calls me and says, "Hey, my car won't go into reverse. It won't get out of park. I said, what? What you mean why I won't go in the park? So I get a 30-minute lunch, and at first I was reluctant. So I was like, you only get this amount of time. You really don't want to have to work on this, do all this kind of stuff. So I sat around and I walked outside, went ahead and walked outside. And the funny part about it was she, she didn't park in a parking spot. She had no issues with her vehicle all the way up until she came all the way to my house. And I decided to help her. I had went in there. I tried to jump the car, see what's going on. It was okay. This is it. This isn't the battery issue. Um, Constantly just turning the car on and off, trying to get it to start. It finally started. I was able to put it in reverse, and she was able to go ahead and go about her business and spend time with our daughter. Um, we texted each other just to make sure that everything was good. She said she'll have somebody look at it tomorrow and everything like that. I said okay, which is fine. This is her problem now. We're no longer in a relationship. So Saturday came around, didn't hear from her, everything. She's obviously taking care of our daughter, spending time with her. And Sunday comes and she decides to hit me up. Well, actually, the crazy part is I actually texted her when she was told me previously that she was going to drop Kyla off early. So I texted her. She said, "Hey, I'm 5 minutes away." Her car, everything seemed like it worked. She drove here, everything. As soon as she got here, it didn't work again. So what's going on? So for me, waking up this morning, having to come home and everything, after just throwing up at 5 o'clock this morning, not feeling well. I didn't go to church this morning. Just something was just bothering me. I don't know what it was. And I think God was just giving me my sign. Hey, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you how much you've overcame this. And what I mean by that is just feeling so ill. I couldn't even get out of bed. It's hard for me to get a drink of water. I was telling myself, man, I'm not even going to go to work today. I'm not going to church today. All these things. And when I got home and she was there and her car started not working and acting up again, something just was like God gave me the energy. God put my unsettled stomach aside to help the mother of my child. And it was something different. It was just like, go ahead and help her. It's a different feeling helping somebody that doesn't wish well on you, and really doing it in a sense of just good faith, good character, the person that I am. She was in a situation where, the car wasn't going to leave my house. And of course, I didn't want it there. But mainly the fact that, she is the mother of my child. So, not to say I have a sense of duty, but I just wanted to, in a sense, give what I have, and which is the knowledge about vehicles and be able to work on vehicles and so on and so forth. Every bit of pettiness wanted to be in me and be like, go ask your dude, go ask your mans, why are you bothering me about this? Go ask whoever, you know what I'm saying? And I took my time. I took care of her and everything. I helped, got her car back on the road. It was a tribulation for me because the first place gave us the wrong part. Then the second place didn't have the part. And the third place finally had the right part. And when I say this was maybe a 2-minute job, I mean, for me to take 2 minutes to do it and over 2 hours of driving around back and forth to actually go get the part, being around her, understanding everything as far as what she's going through. She started to vent to me and everything. I couldn't really take it. The taste of everything, the smell, it smelled like alcohol. And I, right now for me, I'm doing something different. I no longer smoke anymore. I'm not really on to drink or anything. I'm just trying to find that natural high and the higher power within God and myself. So just smelling and everything was just like, you know, it was telling me, in a sense, God was telling me, don't go back to your vomit. Understand that, you might have had a relationship with this person, and, regardless of whatever is going on, don't go back to your vomit. But you can definitely help. You can definitely aid. You can help by any means necessary to make sure that they get on their way and you stay on your path. You stay on your way. So it was just a different kind of feeling, helping somebody that might have done you wrong. I'm not saying I'm no saint neither. I've done a lot of things too. But just knowing a lot of things and how things ended, things that, went on and carry on with pettiness and so on and so forth, to be able to help her and her time of need, um, it wasn't really helping her. I feel like I was helping myself because I knew then at that time I no longer ever wanted to be with her again. I noticed the things that I changed and things that she hasn't changed, but I was still willing to help her. We do share a child together, and my thoughts and views on a lot of things for our child is the best benefit for our child. So I definitely, in a sense, went ahead and did what I had to do, helped her out. Just called it a day. As tired as I am, I didn't take a nap before work. I didn't even get my rest. I didn't even get a drink of water in this 90-degree heat. But I did what I needed to do, and I got her on her way. There were so many things that I could have did, could have been negative, could have been nasty about it, could have been just all types of things. When you have a breakup and it doesn't go right, you know, people tend to hold on to things. I learned from that I'm not holding on to anything. I can learn and look at you dead in your eyes and let you know what I'm here for, what I stand for, what's going on. And at the end of the day, what's not, what I'm not dealing with. Um, to go back in my stand as far as what I want y'all to understand before I get off topic is, um, for me, being a father and taking care of your child primarily is it should, I would say, shout out to all the dads first of all. You know, being in a situation, I think, in this world today where I think there's a lot of not even just to say, I don't want to say anything negative, but we're not starting our relationships and having children with marriage, first of all. Secondly, as a father, and when you break up with a woman, excuse me, it tends to be the parent, as in the primary is the mother. And when you break up with that mother, you tend to lose a lot of the things that you had or built, primarily with your child. And I'm here to say, as a testament to my own self, you don't have to do that. You don't have to go with society. The funny thing, everybody was telling me Happy Mother's Day because they know I'm with my daughter. I've been with my daughter since birth. Okay. I have never left her side and I will never leave her side. I made that commitment not to just her, but to myself. And what I learned and understand is this: just because a relationship breaks up does not mean the relationship with your child ends or it comes to a halt or someone is stopping it. This is for all my fathers. Understand that I'm just like y'all. I'm just like y'all. I didn't know a lick about the law. I didn't know nothing. All I knew was, Florida rights go to the mother. And at the end of this time, if our disagreement or our agreement ever becomes a disagreement and she does not go with it, my daughter can be gone. And I had to live by the situation of how her mother wants to raise her and me just be pushed to the side. But I had this feeling in me. I just couldn't get it out. I just, going through everything, I said, no, this child holds my last name. I created this child as well as with her mom. But I will not be the one to allow anyone raise my child as well as raise her in a household or versus, hey, shout out to the stepfathers, whatever, all you niggas, and I'm telling this for women, the niggas that you think is step, but they not all Russell Wilsons. Let's get that one thing out the way. So at the end of the day, I told myself and I told that I was going to sacrifice what I needed to do to have my daughter, which is, not be in a relationship to a certain time till I'm ready, not bring anybody around my child until I deem that it's ready. Uh, Understanding and learning the difference between a relationship and parenthood. I think a lot of people get it mixed up and just want that person that they're with to become the father or the mother or whoever that a child. And in my opinion, granted, whoever you laid with, that's who you decided to lay with. And at that time, you was okay with it. So why would you want them to not be a father to their child any more longer after you had the baby? So I just say this for niggas, just what I'm saying, I'm being nice about this shit. I'm trying to be all righteous and shit, but like nigga, you gotta understand, nigga. Like, look at this paperwork party, son. I went to the courthouse 3, 4, 5 times, 6 times, sat in there for hours learning this shit, trying to understand what the hell this shit means. Really trying to go in there and like talk to the workers. And I think it's something crazy when you go in there as a father, especially a black man, and it's nothing but women working back there, and they shoo you away. Oh, what you want? What you want to have your kid for? Oh, what you doing this or well, what's wrong with the mother? All you say, you don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to get my rights. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is there so much pushback to this shit? That's what I asked the mothers. That's what I'm asking her. Why is there so much pushback to this shit? You know, I think that's why I said we strayed away from what the real tradition is. The tradition I laugh, someone told me say the tradition is normally the kids are primarily with the mother. And I said, no, the tradition is marriage, not having a child out of wedlock. That's the tradition, at least in my eyes. And at the end of the day, both parents need to be able to do what's right, put however they think, however they feel to the side, to be able to take care of what they created, what God gifted us. I think we kind of lose all that in the aspect, treat our children as accessories or whatever it is that you feel towards one another. It's not good. It's not healthy for them because they're carrying on the same shit. Uh, I'm getting a little off topic, but just to continue on with that, man, I give all my brothers, all my fathers strength to be able to take that leap, man. Don't be scared, man. Go to that courthouse. Go figure that shit out. You don't need a lawyer. Go talk to a lawyer, whatever. You don't always need one. Every case and every situation is different. But I tell you what, when I decided to make that decision to stop doing what I was doing, be there for my child, I've been blessed. And I continue to be blessed. And now I'm understanding God and how he works in his favor and understand to give him the worship that he deserves because he's in control of all of this. But that brings me back to my next topic. And what I mean by that is Go back to the Bible. Yeah, I go back, hit y'all with another verse. And in this verse, I want everybody to understand primarily one thing. Okay. This is Revelations 21, verse 7. Those who are victorious will inherit all this, and I will be their God, and they will be my children. But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters, and all liars, they will be co-signed to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. What I feel like he means by that is, I was watching previous podcasts, is you either hot or cold. If you lukewarm, God spits you out. You can't straddle the fence of being one person and then saying I'm still God's with me. No, God ain't with you. God is not with you. When you're doing wrong, God is not with you. You know what I'm saying? God is not with you. Like uh the King James version, I'll bring that into it. Is, let's see, 8. Let's see. But um bear with me. But I will say, guys, in this case, I'm not going to pull it up again, but being deceitful, okay, that's also a sin. And the meaning of being deceitful, or to have deceit, is guilty of or involving deceit, deceiving or misleading others. I'm definitely not here to mislead y'all. I promise you that. I've learned my purpose, and that's why I'm doing this podcast now. But I will say, um, just to let y'all know, I've had a few things that gone on in my life recently. I do want to share with y'all. Um, Sometime last year, God and my mother, I was asking God, and I was asking, to reach my mother for something. I was asking for something that I can put work into, something that I can create. I was having a creator's block. I was asking, hey, man, I'm tired of not just working. I want to be able to do more. What can I do more for myself? What can I do more for others? And it hit me. I decided to create a kid's book. Kid's book was called Let Me Be Me. And for me, that book is just worth everything in its own. And what I mean by that is wanting to let your child be a child, let them be able to enjoy the things of being a child, as well as, you know, we get caught up in being adults and, stress with bills, everything that goes on in life. You don't want to put that on your kid. You don't want them to make them feel that they have to go get it for you. You don't want them to have to rush early in life. You want them to experience everything that it is to be a child, because we have less years as being a child and more years as being an adult. So I want people to really understand that, what I mean by that. Your childhood dictates, a lot of things that goes on in your adulthood, whether it was good, bad, or however. You being raised in a certain environment or a certain way or by a certain parent that has not been able to overcome their own trials and tribulations, this is what we call generational curses, because it dwindles down from kid to kid, and that kid becomes a parent, and then that kid becomes a parent, and they can't let go. They can't fix what is going on within them. There's a lot of things going on in this world. I'm not going to get too much into it, but being a parent and being a primary parent, I would go to the school a lot. I'm involved in my child's schooling at her school. Um, I lived in Atlanta several years. Everything. I have, I wouldn't say I have too much of an issue with people that decide their sexuality, but I do have an issue when you try to push it on my child. My mother made sure and preserved my pureness. Okay, as much as she could, I was as pure as possible until I decided to come out as far as in this world and be who I am. And I don't mean by pause. I don't mean by come out in that way. Okay, ain't nothing gay about me. But what I mean by that is just this world around us is built in a sense is disgusting. It's distasteful. Okay, and to attack our children is something that I just won't stand against. I'm not going for it. So that's really why I created the book, because I wanted all parents to be able to take in heed that let your child be a child. They could play basketball. They could be boy or girl. He could cook. He could be a boy or girl. Let him learn these things or her learn these things that contribute to them being a better person in society later on in life. It doesn't have to always be about gender. It doesn't have to always be about sexuality. Um, Previously, I was a stepfather when it was in my last relationship, and I used to say the craziest things, and she used to not like it. But I used to say, "Son, if you can't even write a paragraph, how are you gonna tell me what you are? You don't even know. If you can't even write and understand pure phonics, how are you gonna tell me that you are gay, this, whatever? You don't know. You don't even know. You're going off what you see. TV, whatever the fuck it is, YouTube. You're going off strictly what you see." And that's what I was trying to get people to understand. That's what I was trying to get her to understand. You got to really look into yourself, educate yourself. Don't label yourself. All right. You already a black man at that. Don't label yourself. You are just who you are. You start putting all these labels on yourself, and then I see so many motherfuckers over here. They retract they statement, or now I'm mad. I didn't cut my dick off. Well, why did you do that in the first place? You didn't educate yourself. That's the problem. And it just goes back to say that's why I really created the book, because I want kids to just be able to stay being a kid as long as possible. You don't want to be in a situation where you are just not doing what you want to do as a parent, financially, everything that comes into play. I'll wrap this up pretty quick, but I will say this. Uh, I got to a situation I used to hold my tongue a lot, no longer holding my tongue. I decided with this idea that I created, this book that I created, that I wanted some help. I had trust in somebody. I thought that they could help me execute everything that I needed to do to make sure that the vision comes alive, which it did. And they did help me. But along the way, something got skewed. It's very unfortunate because I never thought that this person would even do anything to me like this, being the things that we've been through so much together. But it all started where one day we knew the vision. We seen the vision. We started building on the vision. The book started and being written by Keenan Brown. Then the next thing you know, I see it written as blank, then Keenan Brown. That's when I knew. Said, nah, salt in the game. So I can't fuck with it. You done messed up what really matters. What really matters is not about the money. It's not about none of that. It's actually giving the kids and the parents what we created, what I thought of, which was giving them the idea to let them be them, bringing that back to our society. Then it dawned on me, I've been quiet about it a long time for this. I see them posting and everything. Oh, yeah, this is my book and I'm showing it, I'm giving it away to such and such rapper. Funny thing about it is you can't even talk about the book. She wasn't the one that came up with it. So at the end of the day, when it comes to this book, you want to listen in, you want to understand everything. It's from me. It's from my heart, from my brain. So if you want to support, keep tuning in. I also got a detailed business and everything. You'll learn more and see more about me. Keep tuning in and from now, I say deuces. Y'all have a good one. Y'all check me out later.